your hands together to introduce today's speaker, the ever-smiling Public Relations Manager of District 121, Toastmaster Neil Anthony Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Karthik. For a moment, I thought you were introducing somebody else till you mentioned my name. Thank you, Karthik, for the beautiful words you said. At the outset, thank you so much, the district leaders, District Director Nirmala Lily, Program Quality Director Vanita and Savita here, who has enabled this session for us. We know that today we moved into this digital era, you like it or not, we cannot but be online. That's the only way out. And being online, posters and everything is vital in our life. So this session here is so important that all of you here are very lucky. I would say that you're so fortunate to be here. For the past 3 months, I've been saying a lot of posters and a lot of people who came up with wonderful creative designs. I had to tell them a lot of no's, and it really pains. So today we have a speaker, a person, a trainer by passion, a person who's going to tell those no's to you. So my job is made simple. Let me introduce him. He is the general manager of Dow Information Systems, a Toastmaster since 2017, a person who is like a super fast, I would say, a person who has completed one path, not just one, gone ahead, completed 2 paths, didn't stop there, finished 3rd path, finished even his 4th path, and now he's going to his 5th path. I think TI should invent new paths for this person, because the way he's progressing, it puts us to shame. So a person who has been into his 4th and the 5th path now, a distinguished Toastmaster in June 2020, District Toastmaster of the Year 2018-19 in District 20. He's been a president, a VP Education, an area director, and currently the division director of Division F in District 20. And more than anything else, somebody who knows the brand, somebody who knows what is right and what is wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of virtual applause, let me invite distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Barretto. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening to District 121. It's my pleasure to be with you all. I would like to start with a short introduction about myself and what we are going to get out of today's session. Let me set up everything here, start the timer, and we are ready. So I have already been introduced, but let me just go quickly to tell you who am I. As I said, I'm a Toastmaster. I'm also a certified trainer, but I have a lot of passions that I don't know which one to focus on. I'm known as a photographer, a scuba diver. I'm also a fitness enthusiast and probably one of the only 3 or 4 certified kettlebell instructors in Kuwait. And generally, I love technology. I love experimenting and learning. So my first love is always technology. Branding is something, is a byproduct of mine. But yeah, I love photography. I love technology in general. From my social media, you can check out my photography at Barretto Photography on Facebook. I also have an Instagram page, Dust Storm Kuwait. If you all are wondering why I named it Dust Storm, I live in Kuwait. It's a desert and we get lots of dust storms during summer. And I launched a YouTube channel about 4 months ago when the COVID-19 struck and people were struggling how to do things online. So I post a lot of videos on technology for Toastmasters. It's called Tech for Toastmasters. As told by in the beginning, I would like you all to keep your microphones muted. If I want to ask you a question, I will unmute you all, and I want the session to be as interactive as possible. I prefer you all use the speaker view, not the gallery view, so that most of the time I might be sharing my screen along with the PowerPoint presentation in the same screen instead of using a share option. This allows me to interact with you all better. Put your queries in chat. If you have any specific queries that will be addressed in the Q&A session, please write them to Karthik, because he will summarize all the queries and then we will address your queries at the end. Always safety is first, so be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that in case of any emergency, you know how to exit wherever you're sitting right now. In terms of a project, in terms of our workshop objectives, I will go through the branding basics. I'm using Canva today primarily because, first of all, it's free. It's very easy, but in my opinion, whatever tools are available to you, it doesn't matter. As long as we have the branding basics branding basics, whether you use PowerPoint or even use Microsoft Paint, that is immaterial. As long as the basics are there, you can create your content, you can create your brand content for your club, or area, or this division or district. We'll go through the editing options available for us in Canva. I'll also touch upon the new focus of Canva. About a month or a few months ago, they started pushing a lot of features to create videos, and it's very easy. So if you have already created a poster, with a few clicks, you can make it into a video and be more engaging with the audience that you're targeting, because people are more likely to check videos, especially if you post them on Facebook. It automatically starts playing, and you can quickly show some interactive sort of content that engages your target audience, and hopefully they will come and check what this is all about. And we'll have a Q&A session. So that is as far as the objectives are concerned. Let's straight away dive into it. What I want to do is I want to share with you some posters that I have created. And give me a second to open them. Okay, what I want to do is I want you all to look at this poster, spend a few seconds, and tell me, can I post this on my club account? Does it look okay? I think it's okay, but what do you think? If you think there are some problems in this, I would like you to put in the chat, what do you think is a problem with this poster? Okay, not brand compliant is not good enough for me. I want you all to specify what is wrong in this poster. Maybe other than the PRM, because obviously his blood must be boiling. So let's ignore him for the time being. Logo background. Okay, logo background. Clicking the link is not possible. Okay, but that is not a violation of branding about links. Too much of content. Okay, too many words, too much text. Okay, the logo is blurred is probably, okay, let me do it another way. I'll share it for you rather than doing this way. Let me just change so that I get better view of you all. And I will share the content so it appears more crisp. This will probably show it properly to you. And now if you put in the chat, because I don't think it is blurry if you do the sharing. And let me go to chat. Okay, logo modified. Children's pictures not allowed. Great. Where leaders are made is not featuring. Okay, let me tell you what I have, or what I think is wrong in these posters, and what I think is not wrong in the posters. By the way, starting with the logo, I brought the logo exactly as it is. So if it looks modified, I haven't. But somebody said where leaders are made. It is not a necessity to put where leaders are made. I can put my club name immediately below logo. So that part is fine. But what is not fine is the color that I have used here. This is not a brand compliant color. And I hope you all know what are all the colors that are brand compliant. If not, I will go through it when we reach Canva. The font that I have used on top here is not brand compliant. There are only 2 fonts in the new brand manual that we are allowed to use. And those 2 fonts have alternatives. So you can either use Gotham as the primary font and Myriad Pro as the body font. But those are paid fonts. So if you're using Canva, you won't find them. So in Canva, the equivalent fonts that I could use are called Montserrat, which should be the heading or the main font. And for the body, I could use Source Sans Pro. These are the 2 fonts, the only 2 fonts you can use in a Toastmaster branding content, whether it's a poster or anything else. Nothing else. Before there used to be 3 fonts, but since last 2 months, you are restricted to only 2 fonts. Children's pictures are not allowed, and that's why this is another brand violation. So the color which I have used in these 2 edges, not allowed. The font, the picture. This red line would have been okay maybe 2 or 3 months ago, because red was one of the brand colors. It has been now removed from the branding. Okay, so this is, whether it's too much text or other things, those are irrelevant. It's up to you to see what content you want to put, but these are the branding violation: the color, the font, the picture, and yes, and the color which I have here. Let me show you one more, and let's see what we can do with that. Okay, what about this? Now that we know something about it. First of all, are there any colors here that are not brand compliant? Let's look at the color. Any non-brand compliant colors? Red, yes, red cannot be used anymore. So we got that right. What else? The light blue, this one is not a brand compliant color. Okay, there is too much. First of all, it's a gradient, so I can't even know which color it is. So avoid gradients. The image, somebody said image, Supranga, but I would like to know what is wrong with the image. If you could highlight if there is any.
As per the TMI rules, you cannot show a person who is depressed or anger or something of
Absolutely.
aggressive expression are not allowed in TMI brand guidelines. It should be
Absolutely,
friendly,
absolutely.
faithful, and it should be warmth. It's a warmth feeling overall and a friendly feeling.
Positive, engaged, networking, those are the type of images we can use. Great. So we are learning from the opposite side rather than saying, we are learning what is wrong in this. Again, the font obviously is the same I have used. So that is also wrong. I mean, not a compliant font. What about the tagline?
Below the logo?
Yes, the tagline cannot be above the logo. It has to be below the logo. And ideally, you should use the elements that are available for us. They are already predefined elements. Rather than typing where leaders are made, download the correct element available on the Toastmaster website and use that. And register now is not visible, is also brand compliance in the sense we are told always use contrasting colors. So if you're writing on a dark color, use light colored fonts. If you're writing on a light color like white or gray, then use a darker font, darker colored font. Okay, so this could be white, for example, maybe even yellow, because those are the light colors. Otherwise, I can't read it. All caps is not a brand compliance. It is your choice. So we are only looking at what is in terms of, okay, let me show you one more before we go to the next step. What about this? I love this food, by the way, and I enjoyed every time there is that's wrong. Food pictures are not allowed. Correct. Anything else? The font we have already identified, the color we have identified, the rest I think we have already identified. Okay, final one. Looks good. And I will go with your word, Chetan. It was one of the poster I had made recently for one of my hybrid meetings. And I think, as far as I could see, this was an actual photo of the people of our club that I had taken. And I had put a demonstration of how an online meeting looks. And that was also from a meeting. So everything seems okay. The logo size, no, there is no limitation as far as logos are concerned. You can have even a smaller size than that. You can have bigger size than that. We don't have any restriction on the size other than it cannot be less than 72 pixels as a minimum size. Okay, so that's how we look at brand compliance. So I'm sure all of you all have become now experts in brand compliance. Whenever you look at posters now, you should be able to look into this in terms of colors, fonts, pictures, and how you place all of these elements together. Now, what I want you all to take away from, take as a key message from my session today is I'm one of the person who likes to take shortcuts. I don't like to waste a lot of time making posters. And we shouldn't, because we have we have our work, we have a family. You know, we are not signing up for PR role in the club as a full-time job. And we shouldn't be spending hours and hours interacting with our excom saying, okay, is this right? Is that right? Change this font or change that font or put this picture. You'll get frustrated with the job as a PR and you will not do service to the actual PR activity. So how can we sort of make or leverage what is already available for us? And the first thing, as whoever is doing PR activity, I want you all to do is become familiar with the Toastmaster brand website. And what do I mean by that? Let me open my website. So here we have, not this, I will go to Toastmasters. And when we log into Toastmasters website, I'm hoping that whoever is here knows the resources and the brand portal, because whatever you need to do is available in brand portal. If you all don't know this, please make sure that that becomes your bookmark. And there is a lot of content here that we can use ready-made. As a PR, you can first of all check what Toastmasters is pushing out into the brand portal for you to use. So if, for example, you want to have a poster, for example, for open house, all right, instead of sitting and trying to scratch your head and trying to make a poster discussing what is this open house all about, and then designing a poster and spending hours on it, go to the marketing resources and see if Toastmasters already provides you those resources. Okay, so you can see there are quite a lot of resources already available for us. Okay, 10 pages of it, which means there must be around 80, 90 resources. Instead of going through them one by one, let me search for open house and see what is available for us. So we can see there are already flyers available, ready-made templates, brand compliant templates that I can use directly. So we have one featuring females, one featuring male, and so forth, right? And there is one which is sort of a different type here. You can download all of them. These are free for you to use, and you should use them. Let me show one such example that I had downloaded earlier. It's a PDF file. They're all stored as zip files, but you can, of course, once you download them, you can then share the screen, and I will share this PDF file. Okay, so this is a sort of a ready-made poster for open house. So if any of your clubs is holding an open house, I don't want you all to sit and make a poster when the message and what branding, what sort of emotion to be conveyed is to be shown to the people is already given to you. Use it as it is. Okay, so this one shows somebody who's struggling becoming effective. right? So that's the message. All you need to do is put your club name, location, okay? In this case, maybe it's a Zoom meeting, the date and the time, save it. This could be your thing. And now you have a ready-made poster that you created in 1 minute. And your XCOM will be amazed at such a beautiful poster. Okay, you can always say that you created it. But yeah, this is a resource available for us. And you can use that resource. Going back to my... Going back to my sharing. Okay, so this is, for example, what about meeting? You just want to have a regular meeting. Can we have, are they available, something like that? Yes, so there are a couple of posters created for us for inviting guests. For example, if you have a prospect, you fill also, right? And then you can send like a customized invite to your prospect, and that will have more impact than just creating or struggling to create your own poster. So this is the first thing I want you all to investigate. What can you use from what is already available to you from the website of Toastmasters? Okay, so all the marketing material is for you to use and to maximize your potential in the club. The second thing I like to do is, for example, try to create a template so that every meeting, and this is one of the challenges that I always face. When we see violations in a poster, most of the time the violations happen because of themes. And I don't know if you'll agree with me or no, but what happens is the Toastmaster of the day comes up with a theme. We'll have Onam theme, or we'll have Independence Day theme. And then the PR person is tasked with creating a poster around that theme. And once you start creating posters around themes, you will invariably end up creating branding violations, because you want to bring the theme into the poster. And they don't really, the themes as such do not really sort of are compatible with Toastmaster branding, because Toastmaster branding is all about leadership. It's about engagement. It's about communication. So when you want to emphasize themes, it will be very difficult for you to create a brand compliant poster. So my suggestion to you is always focus on the Toastmaster first. And then if you want, somehow, if you can fit the theme within that, that's well and good. So what I normally do is I have with me a standard template, okay, for meetings, where I will have whatever I am doing, the meeting, the details, some key highlights, and that's it. So every next meeting, I don't go and sit and create a new poster. I will use my template, maybe change the picture, maybe change a few things, the dates and the time, but I'll keep the same consistent look. So whenever people see the poster that I post, they know that's from this club. It has that sort of Toastmaster feel plus that club feel. So all we have to do is sort of create these templates, one or two, and then reuse them every time, rather than starting from scratch every time with a new poster. Sounds good? I will answer Sanjay's question at the end, because it's not really related to branding. So now let me go to the Canva part of it and show you how we can use all of these things that I'm talking about and create a brand compliant poster. And the trick to do brand compliance is not to start with an idea, but to start with branding guidelines in mind. So let me again share my screen. Yeah, I will share the screen because I don't want any, I want you all to see it clearly. So share, and what should I share? Let me share the, okay. So let me go back to this, and now Canva, I assume most of you all have some idea what is Canva. It's a website where you can create posters very quickly. Those of you who have not used Canva before, just you can go to www.canva.com and sign up. Okay, create an account. I have already created an account. If you're not, it's a free account. You just give your email ID and your password, and you can create your own account, and it will give you something like this. Now, Canva comes in 2 versions, and just to make sure that I don't mix up my pro version, let me switch to my free version so that whatever I'm showing you should be possible with the free version. So this is the free version of mine. What's the difference between the pro version and the free version? In the pro version, you have to pay about $10 a month, and you get a lot of new, lot of features. In my case, I applied for Canva, telling them that I'm working in Toastmasters, a non-profit organization, and they gifted me a pro version. So maybe you all can try the PR manager. And in fact, I can share my account with 10 other people. So all of them get the pro features. But today I'm just going to focus on free version. So we have here your designs. And if you had the pro version, you could then even create a brand kit. A brand kit is where you can define your colors, your logos, so they can be used very quickly. In a free version, it will tell you to upgrade. But the only thing you can do in the free version is you can store up to 3 colors in your palette. The gray, I mean, up to 3 colors, which is okay for us because in Toastmasters, we have only 4 colors. Other than this, the only one I'm missing here is the yellow or the happy yellow. But the other 3 colors these are the brand colors. And fonts also, if you want to have your own fonts other than the one provided by Canva, you will need the pro version. But otherwise, we can use the free option. So let's go to all your designs. So these are the designs that I have created before. But let's start with a fresh design. Create a new design. And to do that, I will click on this option, create design. And while creating a design, we can choose the size of the poster, depending on where you want to post it. If you want to post it on Facebook, you could choose the Facebook dimensions, which is 940 by 788. Or if you want to post to Instagram and so forth. Or if you want to create your own dimensions, you can do that also. You can say custom dimensions, and you can type the width and height of the poster and create it from scratch. For example, today, let us create a Facebook post type of poster. So I will choose Facebook post. And this will give you a a blank slate to work on. Okay. And let me load one, zoom it. Okay, so I just wanted to zoom into certain sections so you all can see it clearly. So we have a poster which is blank right now. And the way we look at it from when we are creating a Toastmaster compliant brand poster is we have to decide what we can put on this poster. So first of all, we talk about colors, right? So colors, if I was to ask you all to, 1 minute, let me open the chat because I don't have enough time to run through the branding manual, but I just want to ask you all, and you can share in the chat, what are the colors that we can use in maroon? Jayant, thank you for that. But can you be more specific when you say maroon? Maroon has a range of maroon, right? So can somebody tell me what are the specific colors that we can use? Okay, now I'm happy. Somebody said 004165. Yes, now we are talking. Now we are cooking. So somewhere I had done this small kind of sheet, which I always keep next to my table here. And this was actually before they updated with the new brand manual. So what I do is I keep this chart with me, and you should do that also, so that you know what are the colors that we can use and what are their codes, as you all have been putting in the chat. So the chat is 4165, that's the navy blue. Then F2DF74, that's the happy yellow. And A9B2B1, this is the gray. Yeah, so let's see how we can translate these codes into our design here. So we are restricted to only 4 colors. In addition, of course, the black and white is always there as your base colors. Though it's not mentioned in the brand colors, you can always use black and white for, not for, black should not be used for background, but it can be used for fonts. So let's say I want to make this background as blue, the navy blue. So what I can do is I can click here and either type 004165, and as you put in your chat, and that will give me the blue, right? And when I put this code, I know it's precisely that blue. It's not, I'm not saying clicking on the color and then trying to choose something which looks like blue, but I'm precisely typing the code 004165. Okay. So I don't waste my time. I know the code, I just type it and I'm done. If I want to change it to maroon, I will simply say 772432. This is the color for maroon. Please note them down. Then for the gray, it's A9B2B1. This is the, sorry, A9B2B1. This is the gray color. And we have yellow, which is called the happy yellow, which is F2D7F4. But I shouldn't use it for background because it's not a primary color. We call yellow the accent color. That means I can use it to create some accents. For example, let's say I want to draw something like this, some accent, some highlight. This could be made yellow, which is F2DF74. So now we know that the primary colors can be either blue, gray, maroon, and white, of course. It can be this, but not black. So your background is already known what are the colors that we can use. So use these 4 colors and in addition the black and white, and you are good to go. So that's the colors. Let me put one element, let's say. So if I want to draw some elements, we will go here in the, so we have this menu on the left hand side, templates, uploads, photos, elements, text, music, and videos. So elements is where we can choose different kinds of elements to make a poster more engaging. So let's say I want to put a rectangle, and I can move it around. I can change its size. I can make it bigger or smaller. And finally, choose one of the colors by clicking here. And let's say I want to make it navy blue, right? Either type the code or choose the color, the precise color. Now we come to the text part of it. How do we put text? And again, we are limited to how we can type and what we can type. So if you're using Canva, the only two, so first of all, I will select the text, which is here to my left. Okay. And I can select heading, for example, and put it here. And this font that I'm typing here, let's say my club name. Let me make it a little bigger. Maybe this is too big, so let me resize it to make it smaller. Now, this text that I'm typing can have only two fonts. The first is Montserrat. So I can click here in this font section and then type the name of the font, Montserrat. That's the primary heading font for, and we have different versions of it, but you can use any one of them. Let's say Montserrat Extra Bold. So that's the font I can use for your main headings. Okay. And if I want to have, let's say, some theme, right? So this font that you are typing can only be, again, when you click here, it is Open Sans Pro. Open Sans Pro. Open Sans. Where did the Pro go? Ah, so Sans Pro. I can't find it here. Let me just keep it Open Sans here. Let me switch to my, is there something happened with the free version? I'm not very sure. Let me switch to my Pro account just to verify something. Okay, I can't find it. I was using it.
There is a suggestion saying that we should use Source Sans Pro.
Source, sorry, yeah. I mean, yeah, my mistake. Source Sans Pro. Fine. This is the font. So my mistake. I was searching for the open one. So let me go back to my free version. So whoever suggested that and saved me some time, thank you. It is Source Sans Pro. Available in the brand manual. So this is the font I can use for the rest of the content on your poster. So Montserrat and Source Sans Pro. So stick to these two fonts. Don't overthink and say why I can't use another font, why I can't make it fancy. There are so many fancy fonts. So stick to what the manual says. So we are now talking about colors. We are done. Fonts. These are the two fonts that we can use. Then the very important part is the logo that I want to put here. Where I'll get the logo from. So let me go to my brand website, Brands Toastmasters International, resources. So the brand portal has all of the elements that we need. Other than the posters that I talked about in the marketing resources, we can go to the logo and design elements and use the logos that are available here, the word marks that are available here, the lockups that are available here. There are some pathways logos also. So this is what is that you can download and use for your poster creation. I must sort of bring to attention that this site has gone through an overhaul about a month ago, and they have removed many of the elements that used to exist before. So the logos have been simplified, the word marks have been simplified, and they have added a few more elements that we can use in our design. Okay. So for example, if I want just the logo, so I can go under the logo section, and we have different versions of the logo: color, grayscale, white. Depending upon what you are designing, you can download one of them. And for each of this, you will notice that we have three options available: the JPG, the PNG, and the EPS. What you download depends on what you want to use it for. If you are doing Illustrator, work with Illustrator, you could use the EPS file. But for most of our Canva work, we prefer that you use the PNG, because this is a type of graphic file that doesn't have background. It doesn't have it is transparent background. So they work very well with your design elements. So if I go to sort of color, PNG, it will give me the logo. And in Canva, you can do a neat trick. Now, one easy way, of course, one right way to do it is download this on your desktop, then upload it in Canva. But one thing you can do is you can say copy image. Okay. And when you go to Canva, where is my, here, you can just use Control V, and it will bring the logo to you directly. So this is a very shortcut that whenever you have a image that you want to download and put it in your Canva, just right click on that image, save, copy the image, then Control V will bring it into Canva. And the neat thing about this is, if you now go to the uploads, which are here, you will see it has already uploaded the image for you, so you can use it next time. So once you upload it, you don't have to repeat that exercise again. Okay, so now the logo is come. I can move it here. If I do this, do you feel this will be okay? Any comments on this positioning? I would like some comments on this. Do you think this is okay or no in your comments? Or is there any branding violations? Let me check the chat. Spacing, yes, spacing is not correct. The logo, actually, as you noticed, I did not move the logo. It's not stretched. Maybe it looks like that, but the dimensions are fine. The aspect ratio is fine. The only thing that is problematic is we need spacing around the logo. We need to have sufficient space around the logo, and you can do that by resizing it or making this bigger, but this should be fine. Give breathing space about this. Yes, in short, picture quality is always maintained irrespective of resizing. In Canva, you cannot actually change the aspect ratio of the picture. As long as you do it like this, it remains consistent. So this is fine. So the logo is fine. The theme and the fonts are fine. Now we come to the images. Where do we get the images from? And for the images also, again, if you can, my recommendations are two. One is use images from Toastmasters, or more preferably use images from your club. So if you are a PR guy, now it's of course quite difficult to have, because we are not meeting in person. But whenever you get an opportunity in a club meeting, take photos, take good quality photos, and then use those photos. But if you don't have them, then again, go back to Toastmasters International and go back to your brand portal, and we will have the professional images. Okay. And click here to access the images. So Toastmasters has a couple of hundred of high quality, high resolution images that you can access. And I have here club and district content, branded photos, So there are a couple of galleries here. Feel free to use any one of them that will convey the right message for your meeting. So let's say we are talking about some workshop, maybe some, so I will go here. And let's say I want to use this message, this image. Again, there are two ways to use this image. One is, okay, so the Toastmaster images will have to use the roundabout way, I guess. So at the bottom, you should see this download button. Okay, so I can click on that. Let me highlight to you. This one is the download button. So when I click on it, I will be given an option to choose the resolution of the image. So you can, if you want the original high quality, use the original image. If you have bandwidth issues, you can go for one of the smaller resolutions, like let's say medium size, and download it. You don't need to log in, or you don't have to have an account to download any of these images. Just click download. And that will bring the image on your computer. Let me just move it to the desktop. Since I have the image on my desktop, I can now go back to Canva. And I want to upload that image into Canva. So I will click this upload button and upload an image or video from my device. Canva allows you to take images from Facebook, Google Drive, Instagram. In my case, I just want to download it from the desktop, which is here. And because it was a low resolution image, it could be uploaded very fast. If you had downloaded the original image, it might have taken more time. And we have our image. Okay. So of course, the rest of the text, I will leave it to your imagination. My job is here not to create an entire poster, but to show you what are the elements that we can use. And we can add some more elements. For example, let's add some dash of color here. Silver color, maybe. Change the color to silver. And now this one, for example, if I want the color, the object which is yellow to be in front, I have an option here called position. I can bring it forward so that it covers the photo like this. Okay, so every object that you click on it, you have certain controls that we can do. Also, right? So that's how we will do. Also, if you want to be a little creative about the pictures and you don't want them to be boxes like this, but maybe you want it in a frame. So there are a lot of frame objects available here in Canva called frames. Okay. If you use any one of those frames, let's say I want to use this circle frame. Okay. So a frame is nothing but a placeholder where you can put images or videos. So if I place this frame and then I go back to my uploads and bring this image, you will see that it will put it within that frame. So frames is another way of creatively placing your objects in a poster. Okay, so now we can add the rest of the content, rest of the text, and we are done with a poster. Once we are done, we can directly publish it to Facebook or download it to be shared on WhatsApp or any other platforms that you want to share this image. Okay. Let me check my clock. Shows me 46 minutes. Fine. Any questions at this stage? Because I just want to touch upon the video aspect before my time runs out. So if there are any questions, I will take them now.
DTM.
Kartik, do you have any questions?
Yes, we have got a lot of questions pouring in. People are quite interested to know more
Okay.
about branding.
Okay, so we'll take them at the end. Only on Canva related things. If I can take one or two questions, then I will show the video part of it. Then we will have the proper Q&A session.
Sure. So there is one question from Suprajna. So why not use black for the background?
So the black doesn't convey. The right person would be Elena to answer that, but they are very particular about it because, first of all, purely from a publishing perspective, black has always been considered as a color that takes the maximum amount of ink. So if you were to print it, first of all, it would simply be impractical, right? And from an aesthetic point of view, it is, in my opinion, if the background is black, it looks too, menacing kind of thing. It doesn't have that pleasing kind of appearance. So the black is encouraged only for highlights or for fonts. It is not encouraged as it's not a primary color. So the primary color is by default those three colors: blue, gray, and maroon. And white, by its default nature, that its absence of color is white, right? So you're not actually using any color. So white is the background that you could use. Right? So these are the general guidelines. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. It simply has a different tone to it. And I would say if you put the entire background as black and then you put pictures on it, it would not have that same kind of engaging kind of from a design perspective. That's why they don't encourage it.
Sure. Thank you. So one other question from Azhar is, can we use the cartoon from the elements in posters?
Yeah, so that's why, by the way, the way I approach today is what you should do. So everything else is not allowed, right? So what I have said, use this four colors, right? And the black and white. So I've answered the color part of it. I told you use these two fonts, right? I've told you use these logos from the website, download them and use them as they are. I've shown you the pictures from where you can bring them or your club pictures. Correct?
Correct.
Everything else you're not allowed to use. So by default, rather than saying, can we use this, if you just stick to the positives part, what you should do, then it becomes like, I don't have to worry about anything else. I can't use food. I can't. So these are the photos that are available to me or the photos that I took in the club, and you're good to go.
Thank you. So that's quite
rather than sort of stressing rather than giving sort of heartburns to your PR manager every time, can I use this? So he has to sort of investigate what you have used. And in fact, there is a question from Jones. Can we ensure the header bar to be as per TI guidelines and the body and poster, can we deviate? No, absolutely not. And the same thing applies for, if I don't put the logo in the poster, can I do whatever I want? The answer is no. As long as you're promoting your club, what I have shown you is the sort of the universe in which you should be operating on. Before I start answering your questions, let me just touch upon in the next 5 minutes on the video part of it, because it's really cool. And so to do that, let me share the screen again. So I have my poster. And now, because people are used to sharing short videos, it's very easy in Canva to create videos. Short videos, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And the way we do that is, once you create your poster, you simply click on the animate button. Okay. And once you do that, you will get a set of animations that you can apply. And there are free and paid versions. Since I'm using the free account, I can use one of this. And the moment I choose one of the animation, whichever one you like, you will notice on top here, something new came, right? It says 5 seconds. That means the moment I animate something, automatically this becomes a 5-second clip. You can change it by clicking on this 5 seconds and increasing or decreasing. But generally, I'm sure most of you all know that a clip, the optimum time to keep any clip is 5 seconds. More than that, and people start getting bored with it. Okay, so any item or any poster can be created into a video simply by animating. If I want to make it, let's say, more 10 seconds, give additional information, then the way I do that is I add one more page to it. So add a page, okay, and put some more content in that, maybe some other picture and something else, some more colors. So now we have two pages, right? So automatically it became 10 seconds because 5 seconds per slide. So it became 10 seconds. And if I click on the play button, it will show us slide 1 for 5 seconds and slide 2 for another 5 seconds. And you could add more pages so that if you want to explain something or highlight some achievements of the members, this person has done this, that person has done this, right? So you could do it as a movie rather than as a poster. It will be more engaging, right? So let's say you want to highlight the educational awards achieved by the members till date. So there are 5 members who have completed different levels. Make one poster for one page for each member, convert it into a nice movie, and then post it on your social media. It will have more interaction. And once you make it into a movie by making these animations, you can then make use of the music that is available. You can choose, make sure that we only choose free music. So I have here something, Morning Snowflake. I don't think I'm sharing the sound. Let me share the sound. Right, so that is how you make movies. And there are other things that we can embed inside when you're creating a movie, because now you have the freedom to, let's say, maybe a message from the president. So you could shoot a video and put it inside. I have some examples here, I think. Oh, okay, this is my free account. But first of all, there are some videos that are available to you as part of the Canva. You could use them. But this will be very difficult to manage brand compliance because the message would be wrong. But if you were to shoot some videos with your phone or with your camera, you could upload the video here because in the upload option, we have an option to upload image or video. So you could click on upload video from your device. And let's say I have some video here. So let's say I want to, this is a video that I had created. So I could upload it and then it will take some time. I have one here. Let me put it here. So you could put the video that you can make videos like this using the free version of Canva. So that will add some more dimension. So now if I play this, it will give you something like this. Did you know that you can make videos like this using the free version of Canva? Right. So that is how we make videos. And the only requirement from Toastmasters International is if you're making videos to promote your club, there is a clause you have to add at the beginning of each video. And that clause is, let's say at the beginning, you will find it in the brand manual. So let me show you the clause, resources, brand portal. If I go to the brand manual, okay, you all can see it. Video guidelines, right? So this is the text that we need to copy and paste in our videos. Let me bring it into here and say text. So this is required to be placed on top of the beginning of every video that you are creating. And let's say I want to make it blue. This is white. Okay, so now if I play it, did you know that you can make videos like this using the free version of Canva? Did you all get it? So that's a way of looking at creating content, whether it's posters, videos. Look at what you can do and not. Before, when I used to create posters, the way I used to approach it is I have an idea and I will create what I have in mind and then try to figure out what is brand compliant, what is not brand compliant. Rather than that, follow the simple guidelines. These are the colors, these are the fonts, these are the images, and this is the logo. And you can't go wrong. And within those constraints that you have, I've seen people creating some amazing content. It just requires creativity. So my job today here was more to tell you how you should approach the creation part of it. I can't teach you design because that's something that is inherent to each one of you all. You all should use your skills saying, these are the tools that are given to me. Using these tools, what can I create? How can I be creative? Rather than saying, no, I want to put a illustration, or I want to put a cartoon, I want to put food or chocolates in my post. No, this is what I can use. Now, how can I be creative? That is the question each one of you all should take away from this session today. Okay, now I'm ready for any questions.
Thank you very much, DTM Cajetan, for such wonderful session. Frankly, I've been in Toastmaster for a long time, but I'm very guilty to say that I didn't know that there are so many brand compliance rules around preparing the posters. Yeah, there are quite a lot of questions for you, so let me quickly go through them. Toastmaster Amit has a question. So how do we use posters or collaterals available in the TI website in Canva? Because all of them are available in PDF format.
Okay, so those posters are meant to be used as is because they have given you the editable feature to type only what you, the club name and the date. And so if you are using that content, that is to be used as is. You can't take it to Canva because it's a PDF file, as I showed you, right? So that's the shortest way of shortcut of using what I should say brand content. Download, use as is, no changes.
Okay, thank you. So another follow-up question related to that is, Canva is the most popular website for design. Are there any alternatives that you came across?
So for us, we either focus on Canva or Microsoft PowerPoint, any one of them. I'm sure there are plenty of websites that allow you to create content. But because first of all, it's free, you can do almost everything that you can possibly do in Canva, completely free. And as non-profit organization, we want free stuff, right? So we promote it. And even I'm sure to a large extent, TI also promotes, because they chose these two fonts, Montserrat and the Source Sans Pro, because they are available in Canva, you know, to give the right, what I should say, equivalent font of their paid version, because their paid versions are very expensive. We can't afford them. They're hundreds of dollars for each font, Gotham and Myriad Pro. And for the PR manager, I might just want to highlight to you that the Myriad Pro font is given to districts free of cost. So if you don't have access to it, maybe you should write to TI because you're a new district and get access to that font. A few years ago, they gave this font for every district PR manager. And that PR manager is supposed to transfer the font to the next PR manager during the change of term. So if you all can get that font, why not? Should write to them.
Thank you. So now that we are talking about fonts, so what are those fonts which are allowed in PowerPoint?
So the thing about PowerPoint is it's a Windows-based application, right? So in PowerPoint, you have the ability to download free fonts. So in PowerPoint, you can go to something like this. Let me show my website. Right, so you can go to Google and say Gotham, for example. Now, you won't be able to, the original Gotham font is not here. It's basically free fonts. The original font is here by Hoffler and Company. And if you go there, you'll find that it costs a couple of $100 for the font. So just to give you an idea, let me show you how much that font costs. And as a PR manager, you're allowed to, you're supposed to have this font. So we are talking about something like the full pack that if you want. So each font is costing $169. Not each font, the version of that font. So if you want the full bundle, I think it will be something like $996, right? All for one font, right? So, and as a PR manager, you should get this font for you. But what is available is free fonts, equivalent fonts others have developed, and you can download these fonts. And because in Windows, you can install them in your fonts directory, and PowerPoint will be able to use it. So in PowerPoint, you can actually use Gotham, you can use Myriad Pro, not the original ones, but clones. Okay.
Thank you very much for that
about
answer.
Fonts.
Yeah, just quick mention that this question was earlier asked by Toastmaster Stella. So we have similar other questions from other members. Because we have theme-based meetings, there are quite a lot of questions. I'm just summarizing those questions. Because we have theme-based meetings, how do we break the monotony of the designs that we already have because of the limited number of options that we have? For example, stay healthy, eat healthy, while still maintaining the TA guidelines. How do we prepare posters?
So you'll have to figure out, because as I said, in fact, I was going to ask you a quiz at the beginning. It was on my list. What causes brand violations? And in my opinion, from whatever I have seen on the web, on the different social media, the main reason for brand violation is not the lack of knowledge. It's the use or the promotion of themes. People, first of all, come up with themes and then try to convey that imagery or that content of that theme through the poster, and it just doesn't work. Okay. So rather than saying it's a dull or monotony, that is not the right way. The thing about Toastmasters is not the theme. The Toastmasters thing is leadership building, right? So that's what we are here for. We are not here to have stay healthy or eat healthy. We are here to build a communication and leadership skill. So always the message should be, how can we build leaders? How can we make better communicators? The theme is just an additional element that the Toastmaster of the day might have added to add some spice to his meeting. But the core remains, and as a passionate Toastmaster, I want to see that. I want to see leadership building qualities. I want to see communication building qualities. And if you think about that, then it's very easy to do, because anything which is networks, which connects, which sort of brings out that person's skills, that is leadership, right? So show the Toastmaster of the day in a leadership position. Show your club members, highlight them. That is what the message should be, that we are building members here. We are leaders here. We are creating communicators here. So then it's
That's a
very easy
wonderful
to
answer
stay
for
to
me.
branding. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a wonderful answer for me, especially I love that, because our intent is what we need to concentrate on. Yes, these are embellishments, whatever we talked, right? However, our idea is building leaders.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for reminding us that again. So DTM Cajetan, we have one question from Toastmaster Sajid. So they are from a corporate club and they designed their own logo for their club as per the corporate guideline. And now they're asking if they, and it is said that their flyers and posters have to go with both the logos. So,
that is
it
allowed now.
okay to use?
Yeah. So since 2 months ago, this change has been made in the new brand manual to take care of corporate guidelines, corporate clubs. And the thing that you have to do is, let me share my screen once again. So if I'm designing this poster and let's say I have my DAO logo, right? I want to highlight it. Now, it is possible to have the corporate logo here. So if I go to .com, and if I want this logo, for example, I hope I can copy image and come here. Yeah, this should be fine. Right, so obviously I can't, the color is not matching, but yeah, I could do that, or I could keep it here, for example, at the bottom on the other side of the, but not here. This would not be allowed. All right, this would be brand, it can't be next to it, but you are allowed now to put a corporate logo on the other side or at the bottom here, or maybe here, you decide, but right, not next to the main logo.
Sure. So while we are on that logo, right, can individual clubs have their own logos?
No. Only the corporate clubs have that exclusion. Community clubs, districts, divisions, areas cannot create logos. The only exception is for the district conference. So for your annual conference, the conference team can come up with their own logo. Of course, it has to be verified or vetted by the team in TI. That's the only exception to logo, that you can have your own conference logo. Other than that, no, you shouldn't be creating logos. I know many clubs have created, they have invested a lot of time, and they happily put it in some of their posters, but no, that's not allowed.
Thank you. So the next question is from Azhar is, do we have any specific guidelines for mailing templates?
When you say mailing, are you talking about emails?
Yes, emails.
And no, on the marketing resources, I haven't found anything that there are templates for agendas, minutes of the meetings, but not for mailing.
Okay. Because at times we as a district send mass mailers to all the people, but while sending that, do we have a specific guidelines?
No, I haven't come across anything in the, at least if it was there, it would be in the marketing material, but no.
Sure. Thank you. One question is, for source sans, can we use sans and serif together?
No serifs allowed.
Okay.
So you can't use the serif fonts, which are like so serif is there, right? So serif font. No. The whole idea behind the font of Toastmasters is, first of all, who has asked that question, I would like to explain what is serif, by the way, just so that they understand what is, because, so we have here the font, right? Now these are called sans serif fonts, means they don't have the serif. So what's a serif? Let me show you. So serif pro, this is what you're asking basically. Now this, you see at the T, we have this, these are called serifs. Okay, all these accents, right? Now serifs were, or they had a tradition in the print industry that they were easier to read. But the mediums that we are using now on the computers and all that, these are considered hard to read, especially when the font size is very small. So they took a design decision that their fonts would be without serifs. So this is the font they chose, and so it has to be without serifs.
Thank you. Toastmaster Yukta asking this question, if we can use gradient with the standard colors.
Now, gradient has become a hot topic even in Toastmasters, and we keep challenging them. Okay. Can we use gradients? The answer is no. The only gradient they allowed us to use, or officially given to us, and I'll give it to you so you can start using it for your own. So let me make a new page. And let me show you that gradient. So I want to create a gradient, maybe either a whole background as a gradient, or let's say I want to take one of the elements, let's say like this. Okay. And I want to make this as a gradient. Now, what is a gradient? In Canva, we have gradients here already. If you see gradients, so these gradients allow you to mix and match colors. Okay. So let me show you an example of one element, let's say such as this. It's a free gradient that we can use. And the question you will ask me, and some people, it's a gray area, like a gradient, it's a gradient area. It comes with two colors. You can choose any two colors for this gradient. And you can ask me, if I choose the first color, let's say as blue, which is the official color, and the second color also as, let's say, gray, shouldn't this be an acceptable object? And the answer is no, because from this object to this object, the colors have completely changed. There are no more brand compliant colors anywhere. Okay. Some people try something like this. They will choose one of the brand colors, let's say maroon. And the second color, they'll choose one of the neutral colors, like white or black. And this is really a gray area. If you ask officially, this is not allowed. So what is the only acceptable gradient that is officially given by Toastmasters is using a color which is in your brand manual. I hopefully it is still open. Where did I keep it? Brand manual, okay. Oh, it's not recorded in the brand manual, but this color that you see here, the blue and the blue, this is the only acceptable gradient. And to get that color code, I should have written it down somewhere. And I will show you how it looks. So the first color has to be blue. That is my 4165. And for the other color, let me go back to my Pro version because I've already created it in my kit and kept it. So let me show you the element gradient, which is here, and choose one of the two color gradients, maybe this one. And the color that I can use is, for this first color, I will use the blue 4165. But the second color that I can use is, note it down, it is 016094. Okay, 016. This is the color. And this is an acceptable gradient. So if you want to use this and be fully 100% brand compliant and say, Cajetan told us this is 100%, no question asked. This is the only gradient I will say with confidence you can use, and then you can place any objects on it and you'll be fine. You can do whatever you want with this gradient and you'll be good to go.
Thank you very much, DTM Cajetan. We have other questions as well. So can we use colorful posters without TMI logo, especially for congratulating our own Toastmaster members?
Yeah. So if the answer is of course no, but I would say that throughout the year, you should be given a pass once in a year, you know. So for example, if it's an annual meeting, you could, for example, deliberately break the brand guidelines once in a year. But knowing that you are not brand compliant, but just by removing the logo, you are not changing anything, as long as it's a Toastmaster, it's a club communication that it's coming from this club to celebrate this thing. The only acceptable thing is to stay brand compliant. There are no exceptions, by the way. So even if you're making an exception, you're deliberately making the exception knowing it is not in brand compliance. I know it sounds weird, but as our district director said in the beginning, it's about the message. It's about what you are trying to convey. It should be consistent throughout. Suddenly, if you change something, put some flowers and something, you know, it changes the message.
True. I completely agree with that.
Ilana was here, she would be very happy with me because I am trying to be as strict as possible.
Thank you very much for being that strict, right? So we are getting the message more clarified.
So it's not about being strict. What I'm trying to say is you can be as creative as possible with the tools that you are given, right? So you have to try and show your creativity with that. And the way you do that is how you arrange the elements, especially the photos. Try to create very attractive photos. So your focus will now not be on elements that you download from Google, but how can you show your members in the best light possible? So every meeting that I go, at least whenever I go for a physical meeting, I carry my big camera with me. And whatever opportunity I get to take some candid photos of people giving speeches, or even after the meeting, I'll tell them to pose. I'll take those photos and that becomes my PR content. And that's more engaging than trying to put some food pictures or some flowers or something like that.
Thank you. So that earlier question was asked by Toastmaster Anupama. We have one more question. We have a few more questions. Toastmaster Anusha is asking, how do we apply for Canva Pro?
Yes, so basically what I did is there is something called Canva for, but I have to be realistic with you. Other than me and another person, almost everyone's application was rejected. Okay, but you can always give a try. Canva for nonprofit. Okay, so here you can say apply. It's free, and there are some eligibility guidelines, but you have to fill in the details. And of course, I had applied it as a Toastmaster organization, right? So I gave my details, name of the nonprofit. I said Toastmasters. I gave the Toastmaster website. What is your role? I'm a division director. In fact, my previous choices are here. I can just fill them up. So email, Kuwait, what is the key goal? I think I had chosen create. So you have to be, your goals have to meet their requirements. And the one I had chosen is, what was it? Yeah. Ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote lifelong learning, which is in line with our objectives. And here I had typed a very, what I should say, my essay on what I will do with it, like what I will use the Canva Pro for, and what I have done up till now. And so all these questions you have to answer with genuine this thing, because somebody manually reviews this. And then you have to attach the text documentation or proof of an NFP status. And this file I can share with you, Karthik, to whoever wants to use it. It's from the Toastmasters website. I had downloaded it. And then answer all these questions and submit and wait. And so few people got it. And because it's a non-profit, I mean, it's a pro account, I could then share it with 10 other people. And all of them got also the pro features. So that's what I did.
Sure. Thank you very much, DTM Cajetan. So we have one question from Toastmaster Anup. If you have any suggestions for preparing the club newsletter design. For the newsletter, do we have any standard tool that we can use?
Yeah, my wife, she's an area director, and before she was a president, she did a wonderful newsletter using Canva. There are some templates available already in Canva, right? So if you go to the Canva website here, create newsletter. Okay. So if you say newsletter, and there are some templates that you can use, but then download them, select them, and then make sure all the elements become brand compliant, like the colors and so forth. But it's very easy to like keep adding pages and and then just fill in the blanks. Simple, right?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So we have one other question. If you can suggest, that is from Toastmaster Satish, if you can suggest one application for removing the background from the videos, is it possible?
From videos?
Yes.
From videos, it's very difficult, but those who would like to learn how to remove from photos, I can quickly show. But videos is, it will be, first of all, quite a complex task. But for those of you who don't know how to remove background from photos, use the website called remove.bg. This is the website. Okay. And upload any image that you have. Let's say photos. So let's say I have one photo of myself. I'll take my own photo. And it will remove the background for you, which you can then download it and use it in your picture. So this is the original, and it has removed the image. So videos will be quite a difficult task because of the number of frames that are available. I saw one site which attempts to, but I haven't tried it, so I don't want to sort of recommend something which I haven't used.
Sure, sure. Thank you. So one other question that we have from Toastmaster Rajan is, can we have a tagline for our own club?
No. The answer is no.
Yeah, sure. We have reached the end of all the questions. So if you have any other questions, please do post to me.
Yeah, somebody did ask me a technical question, and I said,
Yes.
I hope the person is still there. How was I doing something like this? Right. So that was the question that was asked. And the thing I'm doing is I'm actually using a software called OBS to mix content, camera with any content that I want. So if you're, most of you are tech guys, maybe you can try that OBS Studio and play around with the virtual camera. So rather than the web camera, you can create your own virtual camera, which mixes multiple things, which can be shown to the users.
Thank you very much, DTM Cajetan. It's been an honor for you to have here. Yeah, while I'm closing, I've got another question. Do we have any live streaming software?
That's the same thing, OBS. I use OBS for, it's like a Swiss knife. You can use it to create like this virtual cameras that I'm using for Zoom meetings. It can be used to record YouTube videos. This is the software I use to make all my YouTube videos, in the instructional videos that I post on Tech for Toastmasters, and for live streaming. So if you want to live stream an event that is not a Zoom event, like you just want to live stream whatever you are doing, you can use OBS to do that. OBS, okay, so that is actually not OBS, it's OBS Studio. And along with OBS Studio, you have to download something called OBS Virtual Camera if you want to do what I'm doing here. So install the OBS, then install the virtual camera, and you can do all kinds of fancy things for your next meeting, especially if you're giving talks or you're giving workshops. This is an excellent way of doing it. Completely free, nothing to pay for. Yeah, somebody asked me, is it free? Yeah, it's just, it's completely free.
Yeah. Thank you very much for patiently answering all the questions, DTM Cajetan. We learned a lot from you today, especially how to prepare posters on Canva and also how to still be brand compliant using the existing elements that we have. My key learning for today is that our message should be very clear. It's all about leadership and communication. That is what we stand for. All the team meetings are embellishments on top of this key message. It's my pleasure, and I'm sure that everybody agrees with me that it's an honor for us to listen to you. To give